It has been about a year since we did our big basement declutter. It has been about a year since we did our big basement declutter, and I figured it was time to do a little bit of maintenance on this space. It's not that bad, actually. We haven't added too much additional clutter. Honestly, it's just really untidy right now. So there's a lot of tidying up that needs to be done, dusting. I might go through a few things, get rid of some other stuff, because you can always find something else to declutter. But yeah, we're gonna work on the basement today because the weather's disgusting, so I feel like I have nothing better to do, and this definitely needs to get done, especially if hopefully soon we're gonna be able to list this house and sell it, which I know I talk about all the time and it hasn't happened yet, but this real estate market is atrocious, which I'm sure a lot of you already know. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this stuff cleaned up. When I tell you this basement was filthy, I am not kidding. I try not to spend much time down here, honestly. It's dark, there's a lot of spiders, it's just not really my vibe. So a lot of the time I will honestly just chuck things down the stairs to deal with later. I will really only come down here when I have to do laundry, and things have certainly piled up, as you can see. I kept running into a situation where I couldn't find any of my microfiber cleaning cloths, and that's because they were all buried underneath this pile of laundry. So this was desperately needed because I cannot continue using paper towels when I'm cleaning. Another thing I am so over is having a duvet cover and a duvet insert. It is such a pain when you're trying to clean them. So I had mine just sitting down here in the basement. It could have been months at this point, honestly. So I decided to finally take them apart so I could clean them, but I am dreading the day that I put these back on my bed. They're so warm and cozy. It's my favorite to sleep with, but seriously, who has time? So anyway, I started with sorting through all of the laundry that was sitting on the floor, putting it into categories so that I could get all that laundry done. And then I realized my husband had laundry in the dryer and he had laundry in the wash. So I had to wait for all of that to go before I could actually get any of the other laundry going in the basement. Like I said earlier, it has been about a year since I did our big basement declutter. I think there were 3 or 4 parts in that series, so if you were not around then, I would highly recommend that you go check out those videos. This was easily the most important step in my entire decluttering journey. We had been carrying so much clutter from house to house for so many years, and it was stressing me out. I could never find anything, and it made me not even want to try to find anything because I knew how difficult it would be to get into bins and all the piles. So if everything's in piles collecting dust that you can't bother to go through, what is the point in keeping it? I got rid of so much stuff, and now I know where everything is, and it's made such a huge difference. As always, I donate whatever is salvageable, whatever is good, but if something is disgusting, I'm going to throw it away. So I'm throwing away quite a few things here from this pile, and then I was bringing up those laundry baskets. Those are actually my kids' hampers that I use for their dirty laundry, and they'd been sitting down here for way too long, not being used, so I finally brought those back upstairs. I think about a year ago now, I made the switch over to Truly Free laundry detergent, and I was a really big fan of it, and then I completely fell off the bandwagon, not because I didn't enjoy it or because it didn't work, but because I just forgot to reorder it. So I ended up picking up whatever at Target, and now I'm just using like the normal stuff again, the Tide, the Gain, which I don't prefer. I definitely prefer to use the Truly Free for my family. My son has really sensitive skin, and so does my husband. My toddler doesn't seem to have that same issue, but both my older son and my husband do. So using the Truly Free detergent made such a difference, and I definitely need to get back on that and stop using the other stuff from the store. It also just made my laundry routine so simple and minimal, which is something that I really, really appreciate as someone who's been working hard to live a more minimal lifestyle and declutter my home over the last year and a half. Okay, so we are making progress in the basement, but it is muggy in my house. I'm hot right now. I need to take a break. I'm gonna have a Diet Coke break. This is actually a new thing for me. Fun fact, I did not drink soda for the longest time. I used to drink it when I was a kid a little bit, and then I think around like 3rd grade, 4th grade, I decided that I just didn't like it and I stopped drinking it. But all of a sudden, I've kind of picked up the Diet Coke habit, which I know it's not the best for you, but once a week or so, I think I'm gonna be okay. Important first step is a nice glass, but arguably the most important step is the ice. And I think everybody knows that nugget ice is elite. I used to be a big crushed ice person, like just from the fridge, but then I got the eCozy Smart Nugget Ice Maker. Game changer. Okay, we have our ice. Something else I also like to add is some true lime, but because this is a mini can, I only like to add like half, otherwise it's too much. It's real good. Let me show you how easy it is to make ice. You just want to add your purified water and press start. It's that simple. I love the sleek design. It will totally complement any space that it's in. And of course, the ice is top notch. It's chewable and crunchy, crystal clear. The ice maker features double layer insulation technology, so your ice will melt slower and retain its shape. When I used to work in the office back in the day, we had a nugget ice maker and I would just fill up cups all day and chew on the ice. This is like a good chewable crunchy ice. If you are an ice chewer, you know exactly what I mean. This is the smartest ice maker on the market. I love the full color LED touch display. It's easy to operate and very intuitive. You can do everything right here, from setting a timer to turning on and off the light to checking the temp of both the air and the water. And you can also check the TDS level. TDS stands for total dissolved solids, and your ice maker instantly tests this because a level above 200 is not ideal for ice making. Purified water should be below 200. This will ensure you get the clearest, crunchiest, most edible ice. And the machine will very quickly alert you, and this is what it looks like if your levels are above 200. This ice maker also cleans itself, as you can see here, and when it's all done cleaning, you just drain the water from the bottom and refill your purified water. You can also start making your ice from anywhere, so if you're not at home, you can use the mobile app to start your ice and have fresh ice when you walk in. From the app, you can also create schedules, so your machine would make ice every day at the same time if you want. You could do a timed start, you can tell your machine to start cleaning itself, and you can again view your TDS levels and your water temp. But also to have the nugget ice maker when we, like for example, when we host something at our house, I feel like that's gonna make such a big difference. I'm just really excited to have it, not only for myself, but also for my family and for anyone that comes over to our house. It's just like such a nice extra touch. So I will have the eCozy Smart Nugget Ice Maker linked in my description box down below if you're interested in checking it out. You guys will not regret this. I'm so excited that we have it, and thank you so much to eCozy for sponsoring today's video. I am going to enjoy this crispy Diet Coke, and then we're gonna get back in the basement and keep working. These cobwebs and spiders have been living on the ceiling of my basement rent-free for far too long, so I decided to go around and try to suck up as many as I possibly could in the vacuum. Just the thought of being down here doing laundry and having a creepy crawly spider land on my head or something while I'm trying to do stuff is enough to send me completely over the edge, so I just knew I had to do this before I continued on trying to clean or declutter anything in my basement. Again, if you did not watch any of my basement declutter videos, I would definitely recommend that you go back and watch those for like a true decluttering experience. But right now I'm just sort of tidying things up and going through stuff just a little bit, and I'm trying to consolidate things. So like our suitcases, they all go together and they ended up not together, so that was taking up a ton of extra space. But every single one of these bins that you're seeing here, I have already gone through each individual item and sorted through everything, so there really was not much for me to get rid of. And I know it looks like there's still a lot down here, but if you saw the before, it was baffling. It was mind-blowing. So we've definitely made a ton of of progress. The only additional clutter I can think of that we've added is a couple of throw pillows for Christmas, and then I think I did add one additional Christmas decor bin around the Christmas season, but other than that, everything is pretty much exactly the same as it was a year ago when I went through this process. It can be so easy to just shove things in your basement and forget about them. I feel like it's like the easiest place in your house to just throw things, but we have definitely not fallen back into that habit at all since going through the process, and I'm super proud of us for that. I have remained a lot more intentional about what I bring into my home and also what I keep in my home. If you guys have been watching my channel, then you might know that we are considering a move to North Carolina. We're not 100% sure, but it's definitely something that we're still talking about and still considering. But something that we have noticed about North Carolina, or at least the area that we are looking in, is that the homes don't have basements in them. So I'm like, what would we do with all this stuff? Where are we supposed to store our seasonal decor and the kids' clothes that they've grown out of or that they're going to grow into and whatnot? Because that's pretty much all that's over there on these shelves. So I'm just really curious what we're supposed to do with all that stuff if we don't have a basement. I had enough trash down here to completely fill up a contractor-sized trash bag, which I totally was not expecting because, again, I didn't really go into this thinking I was going to declutter much. So yay for continuing to get rid of things and also for doing the job that no one wants to do. I truly hate being in my basement and having to clean it, so to get this done feels like such a weight lifted off my shoulders. I don't know what is always leaking onto this deep freezer, but it's always disgusting. I feel like I have to wash this thing constantly, but here's your reminder to replace your air filters in your house. It was definitely time for me to replace mine. As you can see, there was the old one and there's the new one. So just reminding you, make sure you do that in your house as well. Okay, so this is where we're at. That's clean laundry. Obviously, I have more laundry going in the dryer, laundry going in the wash, and then this is all laundry that's going to need to get done today. So I'll be coming up and down the stairs a bunch of times. But this is how everything else is looking. So if you saw my declutter videos, this pretty much looks exactly the way it did before, minus my husband now started ironing. So he's got the ironing board out and he wheeled this over. Still hasn't gone through it. That's like a bunch of clothes that he hasn't worn, I'm pretty sure, since we moved into here in 2021. So not my stuff to go through, but for the most part, like all my kids' clothing organization looks the same. This organization up here, all my seasonal stuff is here. So for the most part, everything still looks pretty organized, and this should make our lives easier when it's time to move because all of this is already packed for the most part. The rest of the basement is pretty much all my husband's stuff, so there's only so much I can do, but the parts I can control look a lot better. I figured while I was at it, we would do the next job that I've been absolutely dreading, which is cleaning these stairs. I know that the white paint was a horrible choice when we moved in here. There actually used to be, I think it was like a red colored carpet that went all the way down these stairs, and it was so hideous. So we ripped up the red carpet, and then my husband painted the stairs white, which I don't really even know what other color we would have painted them, but they get so dirty. You can see everything. I feel like I did a pretty good deep clean of these stairs not too long ago, but they're already awful again. So I just went ahead and vacuumed all the stairs, and then I put a little bit of floor cleaner mixed with some hot water in a bowl and grabbed a scrub brush, and I just went along and scrubbed every single stair as best as I could. They're definitely not going to look perfect, but they will look a lot better when I'm done. I'm wondering if I should have my husband repaint these before we go ahead and list the house, just so they look that much cleaner, but I don't know if it's even worth that, honestly. But if you guys have any suggestions on what to do about these stairs, please leave them in the comments below. I know I've seen people who have like little grips that they've put on each stair, and I feel like that might help a little bit to make it look less disgusting, but I don't know. So again, I could use any advice in the comments. And again, these don't look perfect, but they look a lot better. And now we're gonna go ahead and skip on to the next day. Guys, I don't wanna be productive today. I don't wanna do anything. I just wanna sit my butt on the couch and do nothing. But I guess I'm gonna take you guys along with me while I get some stuff done. But first, my camera battery is already dying. And I literally just turned this on, so that's not a good start. I think I'm gonna make myself some breakfast because I haven't eaten much today. I used by May 2nd, and that's what day it is today. So let's hope that I don't die if I eat these. Does anybody else have like major expiration date anxiety? I pretty much live in fear of getting food poisoning. There was one day recently where I was making scrambled eggs and I forgot to add milk, and they were disgusting. This bread right here, while it may not be the cleanest ingredients, this is like the elite sandwich bread. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna eat my breakfast and then we'll try to get some stuff done today, I guess, if I have to. All right, we're gonna do dishes first. Also, tell me you're a boy mom without telling me. I mean, girls could totally do this too, but my son collected bugs and then he brought the bug catcher in the house. There's probably some dead, dried up bugs in here. So I'm gonna put this outside. And my oldest was collecting me flowers yesterday, which is so cute, but what am I supposed to do with this? And Sutton and I went tulip picking yesterday. It was like the first day of tulip picking at a farm near us. So we picked all these and they're so beautiful. Okay, last night my toddler decided to step in like green algae looking water out in the backyard, so I need to clean his sneakers. So I'm gonna throw these in the washing machine. Oh my god, I forgot to move over the laundry last night. Oh, but you know what? It doesn't smell bad, so I think it's fine. Once I got done tidying up in the kitchen, I decided that it was as good a day as any to do kind of a deep clean in my toddler's room. So I started by taking some things out that actually belong in our little basement playroom that he'd been keeping upstairs in his room for quite some time. So I brought those down to make some space, and now I'm stripping his bed so I can clean all of his bedding. And I'm also pulling out his crib so I can clean underneath and behind it. It honestly wasn't too bad because I've been trying to do this a lot more frequently than I used to. So this didn't take me very long, but it's just the little things sometimes that add up and make the entire space feel a lot cleaner. I have been just constantly daydreaming about what my kids' rooms are going to look like in our next home. Both of my kids' rooms have looked pretty much the same for several years now, and I'm dying to redecorate them, but I feel like it's completely pointless when we're planning on moving from this house. I just don't think I want to spend any more money on this house. We've put a lot of work in here, like completely renovating our kitchen, completely new floors, new appliances. We've done some work outside. We built a big fireplace in our living room. Like, we've definitely put in a lot of work, and I just don't want to spend any more money. But I am so excited to decorate my kids' rooms and to give them some new themes and some new colors and just bring some new life into their spaces whenever we do end up moving. One of my favorite things to do is look at listings of houses, and then if it's something that we think we might be interested in, I will save the photos and put them into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to create a more modernized version of the room, to add furniture, to do whatever, just so I can kind of get a visual of what I might be working with. And it's super fun, and it's something that just kind of passes the time when we're in this very difficult situation of trying to find a new home. While we're kind of on the theme of getting things done that are not fun to do, something I've been trying to do is slowly go through my house and clean all the window tracks for the spring. I usually pick like one room every couple of days and I'll deal with those window tracks, and it's not the most fun job, but it's definitely something that makes a big difference. I don't use any sort of particular method when it comes to cleaning the window tracks in my house. I have not found the foolproof best method yet, but I just do the best that I can. And usually what I like to do is try to vacuum out as much of the dry dirt and stuff as I can, and then I'll go in and scrub it and just kind of go back and forth with my vacuum and with a wet cloth until I get it completely clean. And then sometimes I'll use my little Rubbermaid scrubbing brush to try to get into the crevices that are hard to reach otherwise. On this first window here, I didn't do this, and I totally should have, because it made cleaning the second window a lot easier, but I took the Rubbermaid brush and I just used that to scrub up as much of the dried dirt as I could, and it made vacuuming it up so much easier, and then in turn it made the whole process of cleaning the window so much faster and easier. So I definitely recommend that you dry brush it first, and that should help and make a big difference in how easy and quick it is to clean these. But while we're on the topic of window tracks, I'm genuinely curious how often you guys are cleaning yours. This is definitely something I only do once a year, usually in the springtime. But I'm curious if there are people out there who are doing this like once a month or once a season or something like that. You will definitely have to let me know in the comments. I have actually never cleaned underneath this chair as long as it's been in Sutton's room, which is over 3 years now. I've never moved the chair to clean underneath it, and so I was expecting this to be way worse, but it really wasn't that bad, all things considered. So I picked up any of the bigger trash pieces or whatever, threw those away, and now I'm going to vacuum up whatever else is on the floor and then just quickly kind of scrub the floor down and also the wall. There was some kind of fingerprint on the back wall here that I wanted to get cleaned up. But while we're on the topic here of cleaning things that are not fun to clean, that we dread, and that we don't do super often, I would love to know what is on your spring cleaning checklist. Again, I'm like best friends with ChatGPT right now. I swear ChatGPT knows more about myself than I do, and I actually asked it to write me a spring cleaning checklist, and it put so many things on there that I would not have thought of. So I was thinking about filming a video where ChatGPT tells me what to clean, and I'm curious if you guys would like to see that. But also, please leave in the comments what is on your spring cleaning checklist, because maybe I'll film some of those things too. If you're wondering why I've been using my vacuum this way through the whole video without having a proper vacuum attachment on the top, it's because I lost it. I literally lost like the big actual vacuum attachment. So I need to find that. If I had to guess, it's probably underneath something in my basement somewhere, shoved in a corner. I don't know. So I need to look for that. But also my cordless vacuum was dead. So I had to charge my cordless vacuum and couldn't use it while I was filming this video either. I did, however, have enough battery in my cordless vacuum to just quickly vacuum this area rug, so at least there's that. But now we're going to work on putting away a little bit of laundry. I try to do smaller loads so that the task of putting away the laundry is quicker and easier and less mentally draining. So I am kind of doing laundry a little bit more frequently when I do it like this, but I feel like it just makes the task easier in general. Once we finish up putting away all of Sutton's laundry in his closet and in his drawers, that is going to be the end of today's video. Don't forget to check out the eCozy Smart Nugget Ice Maker. I will have that link in my description box down below. And I just want to say thank you as always for watching my video. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe and come back every single week for a new one. There's lots of fun stuff to come, so stay tuned and I hope we'll see you again next time.